Ooh. How's it going, gamers? Alright, I don't want to waste too much time, because, like, it's already almost 9 for me. I just kind of want to, like, get into it. So we were just starting episode 5, right? Oh god, it's already happening. Dude, today's just not going to be a good day, is it? I'm alive. Alright. Okay. Oh, the adventure of the unspeakable story. The Hound of the Baskervilles.
It's coming! Sholmes's cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor flowed over the pistol as I cocked it, and I waited, breathlessly, in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity, until, at last, it appeared. From the shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us. A hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white-hot flames. Its rumbling pant and hideous howl, so terrified was I that I began to tremble with fear. "Look well, Wilson," Sholmes declared, gazing upon the mystical beast. "For this is the diabolical Hound of the Baskervilles."
Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. 2 months? And that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on the day we arrived in the country. And in Solskjaer's terrible ordeal that had followed closely behind, we had emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court, which was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from a faraway land. So life in our little office was very quiet. That is, until it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram. We have kind of a filled out office now. Oh, that's nice. Like, we have a scales of justice. God, what is this called again? It was like a Daruma or something. It is, okay. Yeah, they have a Daruma, we got some books. We have a fountain pen. Well, this is nice. It's pretty cute. This is probably Susato's table. That's our table. I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he'd gone, Susato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Um, Susato-san. Yes! Is it time to leave for court already? Let me see. What case is it today? I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I? Oh, no, of course not. How silly of me. But I think Iris said she would make us breakfast this morning. So shall we go to Mr. Sholmes's suite? Yes! Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food. She does, doesn't she? And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting form. Let me see. What case is it today? Here we go again. So, what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean. Oh, a telegram? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, but you're not going to get away with that. Well, I didn't think I would. Actually. Well, I didn't think I would. Don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing. Nothing interesting. Boring, in fact. Ahem. It was just a boring old telegram. Yeah, that's why you're being so fucking weird. That's 3 times I actually tried and failed to convince me it was nothing. I promise that I'll tell you about it at some point. Alright, I understand. I suppose Hosuke-san will have arrived back in Japan by now, won't he? Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or be just a few days away. A fortnight ago, we had that very long telegram from him, don't you remember? Complaining of seasickness. But by and large, it seems the voyage has been going well. Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? I was just wondering what might have become of Sosuke-san had he stayed in London, that's all. You mean, as regards Lord Van Zykes, the Reaper? Yes, I can't help wondering if seasickness would have paled into insignificance in that case. What is it they say? It's just, okay, so the telegram thing is weird, and like, it feels really frustrating over like feeling intrigued that there's something going on, because it doesn't feel like the game's organically creating a mystery. It's more like the game is forcing a mystery by showing you that, like, hey, there's weird shit. We're not going to tell you what's going on at all, but the cases are also not very interesting, so I just don't feel very compelled to, like, to understand the mystery. Like, it isn't enticing enough so far. Like, for one, we don't really know any of these characters in, like, the past series where we had an established relationship across so many different games with, like, Phoenix and Edgeworth and Maya, and I mean, like, Maya less so. The Judge! I feel more for the Judge over, like, any of these other characters. It's just like, I don't really care about this. It's so hard. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna shut up and I'm just gonna try. 1 second. What is it they say? That no one who stands in the dock can be saved from the Reaper, right? Like, the Telegram is the most recent example where the game very overtly tells you that, like, oh yeah, we'll tell you what the mystery is at some point. And, like, at this point, all you're doing is building anticipation. But you're saying, I'm building anticipation, not like, oh, there's, like, unexplained things in these cases here and there, and that's why shit. Like, it's just so overt that it kind of takes the mystique away from the intrigue of the case. Or, like, the series overall. Like the way that Nightmare's trial ended on the very day we arrived in London. Even 2 months on, the case of that dreadful fire is still a mystery. Yes, but at least Sosuke-san is safely out of the country now. Presumably, that means that the Curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps. Even if that's the case, it's little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding. If the legend of the Reaper is to be believed, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself. Think of it. I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Surely not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants. No, I don't think so. Apparently, Lord Van Zykes Hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter. Oh? Yes, since Sosuke-san's trial, he's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems. Really? Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So, it's just been me who's had to face him in his recent spate of trials then. Ugh, just my luck. I wonder if luck doesn't come into it. Sorry, what was that? What was that? Oh, nothing. Never mind. Alright. Am I a lawyer? It means a great deal to me, you know, that you cherish this armband so and wear it each time you appear in court. Well, it's very important to me. It's what shows that I'm a lawyer. And whenever I wear it, I feel as though it gives me strength through Kazuma. I absolutely cannot be without it, especially when I'm at a critical point in a trial. But just the other day, I noticed you wearing it when you went to visit that park. Sometimes I forget to take it off. Oh, can we move? Oh, we can. Okay. Morning, Runo. Morning, Sussy. Good morning, Iris. Is that Sholmes? He's fucking terrible, Iris. What is it, Runo? What is that terrible noise? It sounds like a cat being strangled. Ah, yes. You noticed that, did you? Hurley isn't in the best form this morning, it seems. That's a new sound effect. Hello. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Good morning. A good morning to die, perhaps. Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? You look miserable, and though you were playing the violin before. My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead. Damn this blanched existence. That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, Iris, is it time we ate? Some dry toast and insipid coffee for me, if it's not too much trouble. Oh, it's the same cat, right? Oh, look, it's Wagahai. Wagahai? Wagga mama? Good morning, boy. Meow. That must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. But how did it get in? But how did it get there? It's a really good cat door. It's like kind of... I wouldn't be able to tell. It just like faded into the door itself. Well then, everyone. Time for breakfast. Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris. Ah, it would indeed be a fine day to die. I knew something looked different. Oh, really? Something's missing from Mr. Sholmes' desk. I don't remember if I checked the other side last time I was here. What's wrong, big guy? You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What's happened? It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its melisonant tones would make flowers bloom, it would. But now, the muses are unamused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? For hours I have bowed, for days even, through the night I have endeavored, to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone, gone forever, no more recitals of unbridled emotion. Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley? Don't worry, I'm sure it will come back to you in time. Heed my words, Mr. Naruhodo. The goddesses of the arts are fickle. One day they bestow genius on a man. The next, they unmercifully withdraw it. Oh, dear. Why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have for the violin for me, what is left, for pity's sake? What is left? Deduction, perhaps. Isn't that what you're known for? Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but... Your desk looks rather empty today. Ah, well done, Miss Susato. Your observational skills do you credit. Oh no, Mr. Sholmes, they pale into insignificance when compared to yours. You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you? You mean Hurley's great analytoscope? That's at Windibanks now. It's at a Windy Bank? No, Windibanks, the pawnbrokery. You sold it? What? You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, you see, quite undeservingly. But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I should have gladly passed what little income I have to you. Dear madam, things are far from desperate. But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate? Making use of a pawnbroker is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. It is? It doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbrokering works. Oh, what's to understand exactly? What did you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks. Banks? On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily through the week. And then on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they've earned. I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us. Is that really what they did? Everyone does it, you see, except people in inner London. And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn, should the need arise. Oh, how ingenious. So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Windibanks, you see? A pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault. Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain? Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't, like his fucking analytical machine. Don't you, Hurley? What does it matter? The world is dead to me now. Okay, well that's gonna be relevant, I guess. I'm a lawyer, Mr. Sholmes. Could I ask for your opinion about this? You lure me to raise my languid head with the promise of some mental exaltation, yet in my morbid depression, I am confronted with the most mundane of problems. Oh. My mind finds greater stimulation in the unforgiving monotony of the floor than in your miserable offering. Always got to help. Oh, my head weighs heavily on my shoulders. Alright. Mr. Natsume's cat seemed to have settled into his new home then. Oh yes, and I've become very attached to little Waggy. It would appear his previous owner has completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures. Their mews are as empty as the hearts of the muses. If Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place. I expect he would have taken him if he could, but pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience. And for good reason. Terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed. Yeah, like a core character can die by slipping on a fucking cat. Well, I don't mind, because Waggy is adorable. Yes, he really is. Oh yes, what about the door? Oh, there's like a little separation, but like sometimes like the doors have like individual squares like that. I like how it's just like wood colored. It's nice. Oh, you noticed. You were observant, Runo. Look, I use this. It's my latest invention. What is that? I call it the cat flapomat. Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats? That's right, it can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. And it can do it on any door at all. No matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see. Wouldn't it have been quicker to just make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make the cat flap? Well, yes, maybe, but now I can make cat flaps anywhere I like. Well, that's gonna be relevant. Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in the door of our office upstairs, Iris. She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. Fuck. What was that? Oh no, jump into the fire, wagga high. What was that? Oh no. Wagga high's tangled up in your violin. I think he thinks it's a toy. No! What's he doing to it? Oh dear, Mr. Sholmes' precious violin. He doesn't give a shit. Why should I care? What? I shouldn't be surprised if the cat is a more accomplished musician than I now. Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives, shall I, Hurley? Out of the cat's reach, if possible, maybe we should assess the damage. Oh, we can look at it? Oh, I chewed up like one string, dude. I replaced that. You replaced that anyway. It's like the fucking. Actually, it's the. Oh, it's like the first G string. Yeah, no, that one doesn't rip as easily, but like, you can also just. It's fine. It's a Stradivari. Yeah, okay, one of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier, Antonio Stradivari. Oh, I see. It doesn't really look like anything special to me. It also doesn't sound like anything special. I happened upon it, covered in dust, languishing in a pawnshop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings. How honorable of you. And until today, it has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have made. I ask you, is there a reason to live in a world devoid of music, to tolerate this blanched existence? No! There is none. Okay. Mr. Sholmes. What, dear madam? What? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine. Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think? Hmm? What do you mean, Mr. Sato? Oh, Susie's right. Yes. The tone of the wood is completely different. Oh, I guess, yeah, the face is fucked up. And that's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before. Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? What's this? I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but that instrument isn't a violin at all. Then what? I believe it's an entirely different instrument. It's called a viola. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude! Dude, this is so fucking dumb. You're right, you are quite right. This isn't my faithful Stradivarius. So what? Pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam not your faithful performing partner then? Ah, I see what must have happened. You do, Iris? This is just a simple mix-up. It sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what's happened if we ask her. What are we fucking doing right now, game? What did you mean by a mix-up, Iris? Well, you see, this violin... Sorry, this viola, I mean... was at Windibank's until last week. You got a steal from, like, a broker in a back alley, and you decided to, like, pawn that off. At the pawnbrokers, not Mr. Sholmes' beloved musical partner. There is a proverb from the East, with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel. Yes, indeed. So sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth. Like, I'm sorry that I said that Franziska and Edgeworth and all these other characters sometimes hold the idiot ball. I'm sorry. Can we please have them back? Please. This is like everyone's juggling their own idiot balls permanently. Oh, what a wonderful idea. Last week, I pawned my great analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument. But it would appear Mr. Windybank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. Well, my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber. No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings. A fine state of affairs this is. And why I always say, Mr. Naruhodo, never trust a pawnbroker. They will try to fiddle you every time. Aha, I see what you did there. But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbroker as an extremely secure vault. Oh my god. Yes. Yes, yes, of course. Of course. Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Sorry. Wait, so... Phoenix Wright. What was Phoenix Wright's name in Japanese? Um, Ryunosuke Naruhodo is his ancestor. Okay, I'm gonna call him Mr. Right from now on. Are you not? We can't call him Phoenix, even though I really love the name Phoenix. But I'm gonna call him Right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is just ah. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency with which we are faced? We must visit Mr. Windybank's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes? Not even because, like, the name is hard to say. It is a lot of syllables, but, like, I think maybe I'll care about the character more if I call him Right. Precisely, Miss Sus Otto, without a moment's delay. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs. My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect, to fess your eggs even more obtusely. Alright, say no more. Let's go then. Don't worry, Bruno. I'll be happy to heat it up for you again later. Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I'm rather curious to see what a British pawnbroker's looks like. Alright, let's go. Can we just directly go there? Oh, we do? Okay. Windybank's Pawnbrokery. So this is a British pawnbrokery. Oh my, there are all sorts of tools and contraptions in here that I've never laid eyes on. Ah, Sasato-san. And that spark of wonder in your eyes. You can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? I get the impression you enjoy places like this. I get the impression you enjoy places like this? Oh yes, I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me. My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. We're calling on matters of business, not pleasure. And clearly Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging from the spark of fury in his eye. Ah, Mr. Sholmes, sir, welcome back. Did you hear that brazen welcome? Well, yes, we are potential customers after all. We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Wright, and it's time to inform Mr. Windybank of our ire. Come, the fight is afoot. Fine, I'll call him Naruhodo. I wouldn't besmirch Phoenix like that. Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago. Yes? This second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Windybank. The color of the wood is different. It has holes in it. It's not even the same size. A wonderful summary of our observations, Mr. Sholmes. I'm so very sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me. An inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There is only one way to make amends. I shall have to take my own life. I don't think that will be necessary, do you? If I may just say one thing before I pop off. Yes? It was you, sir, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe. Sorry? As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin when I heard, ah, here it is. You did? And when I turned to controvert you, you had taken the viola and left, sir. However, there can be no doubt that the blame lies firmly at my own door for allowing you to leave. Holmes is just Kaito. Holmes is literally just Kaito, bro. So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me. No, stop, my dear fellow. The fault is mine. Phew. It would appear that the fight is over. I do humbly apologize, Mr. Windybank. Evidently, my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy. Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Herlock Sholmes without that questionable disposition now, would you? Ha, I do believe you may be right. Ah, ha, ha, ha. I'm glad he's not called Sherlock Holmes, so I don't have a reason to directly compare him to Robert Downey Jr. Because you don't win that, bro. Like, it's not close. It's either laugh or cry, I suppose. You are, it must be said, one of my more challenging customers. I needn't to remind you of the peculiar collection of items you've brought through my door in the past. Oh? Peculiar items? In the extreme, ma'am, for example, the unpublished manuscript of an eponymous work, the novels of Herlock Sholmes, or some such. Oh my, a new full-fledged novel! And unpublished, a story I have yet to read, you mean? Ah, forgive me. Wait, before you die, you must tell me more. I must know more. Tell me everything. Wow, Sasato-san's really fired up now. Is there an unpublished story under this very roof? Well, one day the gentleman here brought in an old metal chest, you see. I should like to entrust this to you, to your care for a while, Mr. Windybank. Hmm? For a chest like that? 1 shilling, sir, not a farthing more. It houses something of very great value indeed. The latest manuscript, recounting the adventures of one Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I beg your pardon, a manuscript. You wish to deposit a manuscript? Indeed I do, for I am confident it will be quite safe here. And that was that. As such, Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom. Mr. Sholmes, is that really true? Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this? I continue to pay your fee, do I not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings securely. Of course, sir, of course. They're safe and sound with me, I assure you, on my life. This is all very strange. Alright, so who took the violin out of here? Because you're not going to give it to us. I wonder, could I ask you something? Or who took the other machine that Sholmes has in his office? Ah, a gentleman from the east, I see. Yes, that sable suit. I suppose I could offer you 6 pence for it. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull. What? Dude, I think the drip is fucking clean. Like, oh my like, this coming from a dude wearing like a pink bow tie and like this grandpa-ass vest and the poopy shirt? Nah, bro. The colors are exquisite, the design exotic. Eastern artistry at its finest, I must say. Oh my, 5 guineas, you say? How interesting. Why do I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here? Actually, I was hoping to ask you about your business. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London. Yes, sir, indeed. Many of my customers utilize the establishment as you describe. I appraise their items and offer them a proportionate loan and 2 months of secure stowage. If in that time they repay the original sum to me, plus the agreed interest, their items are happily returned. But what happens if they don't pay you the money? Then the items are offered for sale in my shop, as you can see on the shelves behind me. So you never sell the items before the 2 months has passed, then? That's right, ma'am, that's right. Which means some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. Should a customer... Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all. I am amazed you're still alive. The very idea, Mr. Windybank, is an absurdity. I guess not really. I think like maybe I feel like every character we've interacted with so far has just been like the most unreasonable idiot ball holding fuckers, while like just every NPC that we don't know are just like the regular people that are like living out their lives and are just completely fine. Says the man who was telling us all that's the only way I can see a world like this game fucking functioning. Says the man who was telling us all it was a good day to die only this morning. And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure such a tragedy never occurs. Oh, what sort of measures? I engineered a simple device which Mr. Windybank has installed here in the shop. I call it the red-handed recorder. Is that not so, Mr. Windybank? Ah, what was the deep sigh about? What on earth is a red-handed recorder? Use your eyes, my dear fellow. There are two just below the ceiling. What? Just below the ceiling? Am I blind? I don't see any cameras. I can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device. Very astute. It is indeed a camera furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film. And every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop. Here, I have an example I can show you. Ah, yes, a print for the camera set to record the activity at the shop's corner. I mean, if like security cameras didn't exist and they're just like establishing the fact that Sherlock Holmes is making makeshift security cameras, that's pretty good. I guess like security cameras wouldn't exist because like pictures themselves are like a very novel concept in this universe. So that makes sense. Oh, it is a picture of his doggo. I dealt with a special type of film so sensitive it produces a crystal clear image even in darkness. Really? That's extraordinary. Yes, as you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it. Look. So you see, were someone to enter the premises with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed. But did you not say that the photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals? Indeed, as you say, my dear madam. Then what if the incident were to occur in between times? One could only say, that would be a cruel twist of fate. I must confess your devices have been giving me some cause for distress as of late. I beg your pardon, Mr. Windybank. Surely they are anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word. It's the cost of the film, sir. You most graciously placed not one, but two cameras in my shop after all, which means I must pay for the nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of the film will break me before I'm very much older. If you're going broke from buying film, then just stop buying the film. Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of our preferred pawnbroker, you know? My dear fellows, then you should get the film. We verge on an age where safety and security come at a price. Oh, heaven help us. If only you knew. Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin. Oh, he does have it. Ah, the very thing. Thank you, Mr. Windybank. Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you try to pop, Because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be the only answer. Oh boy. I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone could get hurt. Fear not. Sorry. I've only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself could possibly be harmed. That's not really what I meant. Good day to you then, Mr. Windybank. It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes. So, Mr. Naruhodo, now we can explore at last. Alright, while this is on, I will be right back. Alright, we're back. Now we can explore. So the picture was taken from like either this angle up here or like this angle, right? I think it was like this angle, like this way. Oh no, it was this way, so it's like behind the screen on this side, okay. I already talked to him. Alright, so where's the machine? Is this the machine? Look at this, what could this lovely big shiny box be? That, my dear madam, is a music box. Surely you have such things in your own country. Oh my, yes, but I've never seen one so large before. Shall we listen a while? Ah, what a sublime sound. It's like the music of angels. I've never heard anything like it before in my life. This particular specimen is of the larger variety commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There is a metal disc inside on which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played. My goodness, what a simply delightful machine. Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course. Ah, science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace. Alright. Does that say Percy Bakery? Like, is that a sign? What's this? What an assortment of things there are on these shelves here. Crockery, footwear, clocks, and watches. Almost anything you care to imagine. Those are forfeited items offered for sale by the pawnbroker. What does that really mean, though? When you pawn, or colloquially pop an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the item for an agreed period of time, after which the loan must be repaid. If not, he is free to display it in his shop for sale, at a price of his choosing. Oh yes, now you've explained it, I'm noticing little price tags on everything. Of course, simply by paying the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So I may pawn that black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow. My treasured university uniform it embodies my student spirit. Yeah, I get that. Now, what do you suppose this rather enormous machine does? It seems to have two little windows for looking through. Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you are looking at is a stereoscope. A stereoscope? Fascinating. It is aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepieces and see for yourself. Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me for a moment while I just have a look. Just before you do, there is something I should point out. My dear fellows, in order to see the image properly, stereoscopically as it were, you will need to be cross-eyed. However, if that is beyond you, it is of little consequence today. Alright then, I'm going to try it. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, you must see. At once. Oh, alright then. So I need to be cross-eyed like I'm trying to look at my own nose. What the? Oh, it's the maid chick. Oh, is she gonna be like important? Actually, I don't believe it. It's just a photographic print, but it seems like you could reach out and touch it. Yes, the sense of depth is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of many London's many fads. They are often found in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them. Why are people meddling with such black magic? It's no magic, my dear madam. It's, well, far too complicated to explain in present. We shall save this lesson for another day. Oh. Alright. Do we need to see anything else here? Like, am I not catching something? Doggo. Well, a door hidden behind the curtain there. That leads to the storage room, where Mr. Windybank keeps articles that are currently in pawn. Ah, I see. There's nothing of particular interest inside. I certainly wouldn't recommend any larcenous activity. Recommended or not, it's not something I tend to do. There is but one key, and Mr. Windybank keeps it in his pocket at all times. Before he sleeps, he places it into a small pot which he slides under his pillow. How on earth do you know about that, Mr. Sholmes? I am a detective, sir. It is my business to know what others do not. I am frequently assailed by information that I neither care for nor wish to retain. Mr. Sholmes, you are a wonder, and the prime suspect of this pawnbrokery is ever burgled. Oh, is this the pawnbroker? Oh, it's like pretty close. Okay. And this is the house. So, is it back now? Yeah, I mean, well, it's obviously gone. Okay, so I guess we should continue exploring then. Look at that enormous ledger open on the counter there. Mr. Windybank is, if nothing else, very particular about reporting the items he accepts. He'd have to be, otherwise he'd get himself into all sorts of trouble. Which might explain the thing that catches my eye far more than the ledger. A gun! This revolver here. Do not entertain even a single thought of pilfering an article herein, my dear fellow. I assure you, Mr. Windybank would not hesitate to draw that weapon with this speed belying his portly size. Oh, you don't mean he'd blow his brains out? Indeed, in recompense for his blunder. I mean, that's a way to do it, but in any case, of course we would never do such a thing. How could you even suggest it? Okay. Thank you? It's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15th April, today's date. Yes, that's not for sale, I must point out. It is an Eastern-style page-a-day calendar. Every night at midnight, I tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date. The perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Windybank. And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before? Well, when the agreed storage period has passed without repayment, the articles are forfeited, you see, so I have to keep a close eye on the date. It's something of a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say. Oh yes, I can see you're very dedicated to your job. Yeah, for life. The door? 3 globes of gold. Is that some sort of charm? Dear me, have you not seen that sign before? No, never. 3 golden balls are, in Great Britain at least, the universal sign of a pawnbrokery. Interesting, I didn't know that. There are more than several hundred such establishments in the capital, all showing the same sign. Oh, I see. Ha, I had not imagined your ignorance was so profound. Oh, well, what is the significance of the 3 golden balls then? Does it have some special meaning? That is entirely unimportant here, dear madam. Irrelevant, even. You mean you don't know? What are those? Look at this, whatever could it be used for? I have no idea. There's a small catch just here, look. We're going to open it, aren't we? Oh my, that's amazing. It has some sort of spring-loaded mechanism, which we'll never manage to put back to the way it was before. What are you two doing? What? Us? Nothing. No, no, no. Nothing at all. Whatever this device is, it seems to have a pair of little windows to look through. I feel as though I've seen something rather similar to this elsewhere. What? Only for a tuppence? Only tuppence for it? That ain't fair, and you know it. The article is barely worth more than a penny, miss. I cannot offer more. Sounds like there's an argument brewing over by the counter. Come on, that can't be right. Have you ever had a proper butcher's at it? Oh, it's fucking... I've seen all I need to see, young girl. Lestrade. Right? How does... What did you pilfer? Wait, don't we know you? I'm sure I recognize her. Oh, yes. It's the young lady from Mr. McGilda's trial 2 months ago. Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She, the Chancellor, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket. Gordon Bennett, you lot. Why do you still have that? Hello, Mr. Lestrade, I hope you've been well. Oh, what? You remember me then, do you? Well, I remember being completely surrounded by smoke, that's for sure. So, what are you doing in here? Down and out like the rest of us. Nothing to eat. Come to pop that black weasel? Sorry, coat, have you? What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone comment on it? Like, why is everyone like, oh, dude, fucking sell that shit for a penny? Good day, unless I'm mistaken. You would be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ah, Mr. Sholmes. So you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article and I shall negotiate with Mr. Windybank on your behalf. Pull the other one. I don't need no help from some stuck-up D. Get all my business. Go on. I'll make trouble for you. As you wish, Miss Lestrade. I will happily remove myself from your presence. He's really done it. He's gone. I'm sorry, but as I said, there really is no room for negotiation here. What does that thing he has in his hand? Some kind of metal disc? Is it music? And you, go on, leave me alone. Oh, Miss Lestrade, just pretend we aren't here. We shan't be offended in the slightest. Sasada can really stand her ground when she wants to. Whatever. Alright, now we can talk. I'm a lawyer. Would you have a look at, that's strange. Where's my armband gone? What's the problem? Something wrong? Don't suppose you're looking for this? Yes, but how and when and how again? I got a talent for it, haven't I? Dive in. That's bordering on black magic. And it makes what I was about to say about my armband seem a little dull. So, what do you want to tell me about it then? That's a very Phoenix thing to do. Somehow, I didn't really think you were the sort of person who'd use a pawnbroker, Miss Lestrade. Yeah, well I am, alright. I'm a Londoner, just like everyone else. That a problem, is it? No, not at all. It's just that, well... Oh, I get it. I know what you're thinking. That thing probably don't even belong to her. Probably got it on the dive, didn't she? Yeah, I can see it written all over your Chevy Chase. Is that an actual phrase? I mean, I just get a quote from him. A flute without holes is not a flute. A donut without a hole is a Danish. Thank you, Chevy Chase. Yeah, I can see it written all over your Chevy Chase. Well, I might have been thinking something along those lines. You're not going to deny it, Mr. Naruhodo? Alright then, I'm just going to come out and ask you straight. Do you pawn things that you steal from other people? Well, I don't know how to best answer that, really. Yes, the answer is yes. Suppose sometimes. You're not going to deny it either, Miss Lestrade. But not this time, alright? I swear, the thing belongs to me. The disc that Mr. Windybank is holding. Perhaps we should see what he has to say about all this. Alright. And don't reach for the gun. She's been in before, of course, but this little tattered Damalion?
Tatterdemalion. Tatterdemalion.
Tattered Damalion? Okay. She's been in here before, of course. This tattered Damalion. I see. And brought some dubious article or other with her every single time, I might add. Dubious? What are you trying to say? I'm an honest customer. Me. So, is there something dubious about the disc she brought in today? Well, if only it were that simple. Sorry, what do you mean? What she actually brought in was a storage ticket. Ah, a storage ticket, so... Miss Lestrade has actually come to redeem an article from you today, is that right? Yeah, that's right. A girl like me has a lot of stuff what needs storing. Alright, yes, that's definitely dubious. The article in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight, but as she gave me the ticket for it and repaid both the loan and the interest, I was obliged to return the article to her. But what was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Windybank. The little scamp is wearing it, ma'am. The coat? It's the overcoat that she redeemed. Oh. What? What's wrong with that? It fits, don't it? I mean, it's mine, so of course it does. So what about the disc then? How does that come into all of this? Ah, the disc is something else. A new article to pawn if the girl and I can agree a price. Mr. Windybank, what exactly is this metal disc that Miss Lestrade has brought in? It seems to have hundreds of tiny little bumps on its surface. Ah, this is a music disc, you see, for use inside a music box in a music box. Put it in! What? You don't even know what a music box is? Just, you Eastern lot ain't too savvy, eh? I know what a music box is. I've never seen one of these discs before. We can literally see it right now. The small protrusions on the metal disc encode the tune to be played by the music box. You simply insert the disc and set the machine going, and beautiful music plays. It's so incredible. Tell us, what tune is on this disc? Well, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. There are so many different types of music box. You see, British-made, German, Swiss. I have no way of knowing which particular machine this disc was made for. Is it the one behind you? Ah, I see. And that's it in a nutshell. I wouldn't have any customers for an item like this, even if the young lady forfeited it. Really, I'm already offering more than I should at a penny. That's a packet of lies! He told me he did. He said it was, well... He who? Never you mind. It just ain't right, that's all. The disc's worth good money, I know it is. Well then, you'll have to try your luck at another pawnbroker, won't you? I'm confused. I thought you said that Miss Lestrade brought in a storage ticket today. It's really quite simple. Yes, the child brought me a storage ticket, and the money owed on it, as you say. For this heavy black coat which you returned to her care, as I understood it. That's right, yes. And rather unsurprisingly, as soon as the little ragamuffin put the thing on, she went riffling through the pockets. Oh, you mean... What? Don't you know it's rude to stare at a lady? Ah, I see, so it came from the pocket of the overcoat, did it? If you mean this disc, then yes, exactly, ma'am. And she immediately tried to pawn it? For quite a high price as well. This is all rather suspicious. Oh, that fit in your pocket? Okay, so no. It's not that one. That one's fucking huge. Give it up. I'm just trying to pawn something like anyone else would. Miss Lestrade, may I ask who deposited the overcoat here in the first place? Well, me. It doesn't really appear to be your size. Me old man, it's me old man's, ain't it? Is it, Miss Lestrade? Yes, this is definitely all rather suspicious. Which is why my assistant is on the case. Out of my way, please. What the fuck are you? What kind of JoJo-ass fit do you got going on? Who's this picture postcard English gentleman? No, bro, that's a JoJo character. Give me my Hamon, dude. This is like Zeppeli the younger years. Good day to you, ladies, gentlemen. What's your problem, eh? There is no problem as long as you remove yourself. I have a matter to discuss with the proprietor. And if you intend to make a problem of it, I shall see you outside, little girl, for the hiding you deserve. Whoa! Alright, not Zeppeli. Holy shit. Look, ain't it obvious? I ain't done talking with him yet. If you think you're such a gent, you should know how to wait in line. Well, you are an impudent little brat, aren't you? As well as a pickpocket. Huh? Who are you? How do you know who I am? The question is, how do you not know who I am? You haven't the courtesy to remember the faces of your victims, it seems. What? You mean from you? Broker! Yes, sir. I believe this filthy pickpocket thief has just redeemed an article from you, no? Yes, yes, the article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Oh my. Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel. And needless to say, any music box discs too. He's actually fucking posing. He literally came with his own fucking JoJo, but how am I supposed to respond to this? Laughing is too painful. I can't fucking breathe. Wait. No, you can't have it. You just can't. It's me old man's, or it was, now it's mine. Goodness, Mr. Naruto. This is a very awkward situation. Yes, I think perhaps we should hear both sides of the story in a little more detail. Miss Lestrade, what is what the gentleman's saying? Saying, what you think? It's all lies, ain't it? Obviously. I swear on my life. I never laid eyes on that dandy before. Let's hear it now, you little ragamuffin. You stole it, didn't you? The ticket you brought in here just now. No, I swear to God. It was barely an hour ago. I was walking along the street minding my own business when this little gutterling ran into me. I knew at once what had happened. I've been robbed yet again, I thought to myself. Those wretched pickpockets. Yet again? Oh yes, as you can see, I am a man of impeccable style. Honestly? A little bit, yeah. It's pretty clean. I can't even be mad. The drip is pretty clean. This isn't the first time that I've been targeted by these backslum scoundrels. Now then, relinquish my overcoat. Like, he would be like a prime target. Come along now, Miss Lestrade. Give the good gentleman his coat back. If you are going to cause trouble, I shall have no choice but to call the police. Hold on, why does everyone think it's me? Because you're... Just look at this dandy cove, and you think I'm the dodgy one. I'm sorry, but no one's going to believe you. Well, what about evidence? Yeah! Where's your evidence that I've stolen something, eh? Come on, let's see it. Oh, I have evidence, naturally. You what? Is he in the shop right now? Picture postcard gentleman. Excuse me, but who are you? One would expect the inquirer to introduce himself first. Though clearly you are not British, so perhaps our ways are foreign to you. Oh, sorry, yes, we're from the Empire of Japan. We're studying here. Oh yes, Japan. I've heard talk of the place. Its inhabitants live on some fiery brown-colored soup dressed up with exotic spices. You might be thinking of somewhere else. And what was that theatrical gesticulation about? Perhaps. Anyway, if you are a gentleman, sir, you offer your own name first before inquiring after the name of another. Of course, yes. I am Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a lawyer. Well, a student of law, really. My name is Susato Mikotoba. I am Mr. Naruhodo's assistant. I see. My name is Benedict. Yes, Eggs Benedict. Enchanté. He's so refined in how he holds himself and how he speaks, but that name is Sussy. Now, to the matter at hand. My overcoat returned at once to someone with the style to carry it off. Like, was that the intention? There's just I'm looking at him and there is just no world where like the creators of Phoenix Wright were like, yo, dude, we want like a JoJo character in Phoenix Wright. Every move he makes, every breath he takes, I can't stand watching him. Oh my god. Okay, so wait, let me look at the court record. I want to see a young English gentleman with an aloof and high-handed manner. He appeared at Windybank's Pop Windybank. Yeah, Gina Lestrade seems like the only person with an actual name. Like, this is like obviously a play on different words. This is obviously a play on different words. Evidence that the article Miss Lestrade redeemed actually belongs to this gentleman. Of course, we need only consult Mr. Windybank's ledger to know the truth. We'll be able to look up the name of the person who deposited the article in the first place. Yes, brilliant. I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid that won't be possible. Oh. I never ask customers' names. That's a strict policy of mine. But why? Well now, as you can imagine, some of my customers have circumstances to consider. A great many of them prefer to maintain their anonymity. Yes, I see. But then how can you know if an article belongs to a person asking to redeem it? The ticket? Oh, it's quite simple. Good sir, might I trouble you for the watchword associated with the article in question? Of course, it's... Professor! Yes, that's right. And all the evidence we need. This gentleman is a rightful owner of the article, without a doubt. A watchword, interesting. So, about these watchwords, Mr. Windybank, as I just explained, I never ask customers' names when they deposit items with me. There are many reasons why. Certain customers would like to keep their activities secret. That wasn't exactly a subtle glance at Mr. Sholmes now, was it? Great detectives have no dark secrets. None at all. Yeah, okay. I feel like Sherlock is not the kind of character that can, like, keep a secret. Or, Herlock. Sherlock can, because Sherlock is fucking... Okay, do you know what the comparison is? Herlock Sholmes to Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes is Kaito to Kokichi. Yes, well, anyway, that's why I always ask for a watchword whenever I accept a new article. In many ways, it's like the secret combination of numbers used to unlock a vault. The date of deposit, a description, and a watchword uniquely identify each of them. And of course, then I give the storage ticket to the customer. When someone comes to redeem something, I ask for the ticket and the watchword. And if that someone tells you the correct watchword, you return the article. That's right, sir, yes, just as soon as the requisite fee is paid. And I have supplied you with the information you require already, but for the avoidance of doubt. The article in question is an overcoat, deposited 2 months ago on 15th of February. With a watchword of Professor. All perfectly correct information, sir. Ow! Really, this is beyond a joke now. There is no further room for doubt. So let that be an end to the matter. And thank you for your custom, Mr. Eggert Benedict, sir. Dude, the white coat looks so much better on you! With such reasonable rates of interest, I may even decide to come back. This is why I hate grown-ups. What do you fucking mean? Because I'm a diver, everyone thinks that makes me a liar. And the contents of the coat pockets, if you please, broker. But of course, sir, here is the disc for you. Just this one? Pardon, sir? I was expecting another, that is, I deposited another. So it is hers, but like, he just fucking played us. Okay, sure. Another disc? Oh dear. I regret to inform you, sir, that what was deposited with me was merely the overcoat. The disc happened to be in one of the pockets, but I was completely unaware of it until now. So, Gutterling, you're hiding more of what's rightfully mine, are you? Says who? I don't know nothing about it. Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Oh my fucking god. Wait a minute, that disc is mine. What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You dropped blood, you filthy animal. Oh my, yes. There's blood on the disc. It's because of all those sharp little bumps. The man must have scratched his finger on them. I found it first, alright? I mean, it belonged to me old man. What the fuck is going on? Are you siblings? So you're not having it. Oi, you take it. Me? If I hang on to it, they'll have it off me again, so you keep hold of it. Why are you giving it to me in front of him? And the shopkeeper, Miss Lestrade. Why is this disc so important to her? You there, in the black livery. Oh, there's a little scrap of paper stuck onto the reverse side of the disc. Look. Yeah, and a scribbled word or two. It looks like somebody's name. For McGilded. Is McGilda Gina's dad? Is that what it is? But it is, Mr. Naruto, a name I shall never forget. For as long as I live. Well, why? Why is his name on this? Look at all the little bumps on the disc. They're so tiny. Yes, the protrusions are called pins, and they pluck the teeth of the comb to make the notes. And just on the edge, there's a small amount of blood. Yes, the blood of the mysterious Eggert Benedict. When Miss Lestrade tried to grab the disc for him, the pin scratched his fingers, it seems, like when you're grating some daikon and radish and accidentally cut your finger. Oh, just thinking about it that hurts and puts me off eating radish. Alright. Oh, it has his name? The lawyer's name is embroidered on the inside here, look. Kazuma Asogi. This was his band, of course. He had his heart set on this study tour in Great Britain. I'm sure he would have found the truth he longed for here. But he lost his life before he even had the chance to see the place. I have such a strong sense of his hopes and dreams when I look at his armband, though. Is that it? These are the scales of justice. They're a symbol of defense, aren't they? Yes, that's right. The scales are a symbol of fairness to show that all are treated equally in the eyes of the law, and they're a warning to those who enter the courtroom without an impartial mind. But if they're the mark of the defense, it would be more auspicious if they were weighing more heavily on the not guilty side, I think. Very impartial, I'm sure. One sec. I realized I was muted the entire time, but I need to mute myself anyway, so 1 second. What? What a calculated crime you have conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath the pawnbrokery with a broken shovel. What on earth do you propose I could expect to find there? Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose. Save for such a fanciful theory, what possible reason could I have to do as you say? Oh, but there is ample reason. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this and covertly dig beneath its floor. The answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. No, it's the gun. The letter gives notice of public works to be carried out in the local area, and according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewage works. Beneath the shop runs a sewer that adjoins another, one that runs under the bank on the opposite side of the road. The madness has entered the sewers now, has it? By excavating the ground beneath our feet, you would gain the access way to the water tunnel. That flows in very close proximity to the great vault of the financial institution opposite. What are you... In summary, sir, you devised a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels. Master plan? Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. With what plunder did the thief hope to make off from the underground vault of the bank? Are you quite serious? Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally, the answer is no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, the picture postcard tells us all we need to know. A postcard of the Great Exhibition. I'm afraid you've quite lost me. Currently in the final stages of preparation, the Great Exhibition will soon be underway, and the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank, on the other side of this road. Pardon? Yes, the considerable crime you have been contemplating is the theft of that which sits in the vault of the bank. The special reserve funds for the Great Exhibition. Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction. of this pawnbroking puzzle. Mr. Sholmes? Well, Mr. Naruhodo, an impressively upbeat deduction for a detective racked with loneliness, would you not agree? Was it true what you said before about the bank over the road and what it has in its vault? Indeed, though few know of its existence, it is one of the government's most closely guarded secrets. Gregson told me, in the strictest confidence. But you just announced it to everyone here, rather loudly, in fact. Ah. And if it's such a big secret, how would Mr. Benedict have come to find out about it? There can be but one explanation for that. Clearly, it is because the man is a criminal. But what if he didn't know anything about the money in the vault if he is a criminal, as you said? Then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does now that you've revealed the secret. Oh. Or if he doesn't, maybe Mr. Windybank will. He already has plenty of shovels here after all. Oh my life, I assure you I'm not so unscrupulous. Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost of care! Masterfully written character. One can never be sure that I'm privy to the secrets. Won't disclose them, and once the word is out, it's out. Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Sholmes. An excellent idea, Mr. Naruhodo. An excellent idea. Ah ha 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 ha. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, do you know what to do, I'm sure. Yep, let's just fucking get it over with. Let's listen to the Great Deduction again and see if we can massage it into shape. Very well then, let's start once more from the beginning. Of Hairlock shown was magnificent, logic and reasoning spectacular. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. I actually don't know about this one. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. As revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place. So, by Mr. Sholmes' reasoning, Mr. Benedict came here in order to apply for a job so he could dig through the floor? Yes, in an attempt to tunnel into the sewers to gain access to the money in the vault of the bank across the road, but he wouldn't get very far with a broken shovel, would he? Yeah, we know! Come on, bro! Like, I hate this repeating shit. The question is where? What did bring Mr. Benedict here at this particular point in time? I want to know more about a stylish hat. Tell me more about a stylish hat. That silk top hat is whiter than white. Only an English gentleman can hope to carry off something so bright. But it looks so incongruous with the black overcoat, don't you think? Yeah, it just does not fit. Perhaps it's the latest London fashion. I mean, that's just guesswork, of course. How about it, Mr. Naruhodo? I think you'd look very fetching in a white top hat. Well, you know, I think I might look rather incongruous with my black university uniform, so... The cane! Oh, it wasn't the cane. Ninja glides cover, as they say. Today, with the intention of pawning it off, which the broker would give you. Miles' conclusion. Oh, well, it's supposed to be logical, reason, spectacular, so I thought I'd contribute to the show. This is my show, Mr. Naruto. Kindly perform any peculiar experiments on your own stage. Then don't fuck it up the first time! I came to the Windmax. Today, he might not look smartly dressed about town, but perhaps he's destitute, really. I really think that's the only explanation. We must stop thinking along those lines, Mr. Naruto. Yes, I suppose you're right. Well, in that case, perhaps there's something in this pawn shop that the man was looking for. Let's look closely and see if there's anything on his person that gives us a clue. Oh, look at all those scribbled notes on the back of the flyer here. I don't believe it. What is it? Listen to what it says. Name, Gino Lestrade, height, 5'2". 5'2", green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, blue satchel, ragged. It's a detailed description of Miss Lestrade. Goodness. There's even a sketch of her, hat and all. If you showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade launcher in his face for sure. And look, the details of the shop have been written down here too. Wendybank's Pawnbrokery, Baker Street, redemption deadline 15th April, which is today's date. Why would Mr. Benedict have all that information scrawled on the back of that piece of paper? Alright. Always read first. Oh boy. Yes, what brought you to the shop in the first place is the info about Miss Lestrade. Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing and sketch on the reverse of that flyer pertain to the pickpocket, Miss Lestrade, and to Mr. Windybank's pawnbrokery here. You originally told us that you had merely given chase after Miss Lestrade stole the redemption ticket from you. But that, sir, is a thinly veiled lie. It is the information on the back of the flyer that led you here today. By which I mean here to Windybank's pawnbrokery and today, the redemption deadline of the overcoat. So you waited outside for the young girl matching the description you have written down to arrive. You have gone through some lengths to hide the reason for your pursuit of Miss Lestrade. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. In full contradiction, what utter rot I've had skin for years. Yes, of course, the missing ferrule. What's a ferrule? It's the metal cap commonly found at the end of a cane, Mr. Naruto. The bit that makes a nice clacking sound on the pavement. Yes, exactly. And Mr. Sholmes is right, it appears to be missing on this cane. But it doesn't actually look broken, does it? No, it doesn't. Though the gentleman certainly did recoil when Sherlock Holmes identified the cane as suspicious. In other words, there's some secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would rather we don't know. Yeah, like the fucking handle. Is there anything on this side? No, it's the fucking handle. Look here, Mr. Sato. There are some letters on the handle. Ah, yes, those must be initials, I think. In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the first letters of their names. So Hairlock Sholmes would be HS, you mean? That's right. And the initials on this cane, obviously. O. HE? Why does it feel as though that's not quite right? The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the initialing. A most astute observation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Eggert Benedict? We are led to believe, sir, that your initials are EB. Yet, in the most possessive manner, you have in your grasp a cane bearing the initials AG. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed, would you not agree? No, you're wrong. The cane isn't. You said before that you had that cane for years. So don't try to tell us that you just borrowed it from a friend or found it in the park. In short, though you hold yourself to be a gentleman, you have withheld your true name. You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god, I was actually muted the entire time. Oh my god. Yeah, I can't do this. Like, the juggling of, like, muting myself and unmuting myself, I'm gonna do this tomorrow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I can't. I just, I, this is too shit. This is too shit. Alright, to anyone that's here, thanks for hanging out, but hopefully I can continue tomorrow if things are a little better. But I'm out for now. See you later.